I think the government have a lot to answer for here. They said no to the survival of this island as a population, as a people, as a culture. I think we need answers. Inishbiggle is a place where past and the present intertwine. But how is it that this culturally important place with a very interesting history is left to die? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. You know, sometimes I get contacted on social media, actually a lot on social media. So I have to sift through, you know, it's important that you don't stay all day on social media. But one day I was contacted with a video. It was clips from a documentary made about Inishbiggle. It's actually available on GoCar. And I'm going to keep the person anonymous by their request, and I understand the reasons why. It's completely understandable. They sent me this and just said to me, the place is going to die. This place is going to die. You know, and that's pretty much what they said. They just I think they wanted me to share the clips, right? But I didn't do that. I actually contacted them. We talked on the phone, we talked for quite a while, and I got to know the story of this person that doesn't live there now, but is a descendant from the island, was born on the island, has deep roots on the island, and does not want this place to die. So I was invested because I love the islands of Ireland. I've a big affinity with the Blasket Islands. I spent 3 weeks on the Blasket Islands in 2018. It's probably one of the top 5 moments that I've ever had in my life. It's up there because it's for another day. I'll do another video. If you want a video on that, me talking about that experience, let me know in the comments. Also, I spent some time on Bear Island as well with an ex-girlfriend. That whole experience was just amazing. When I learned about this island, and I couldn't believe like this island was actually surrounded pretty much. It's you know, the mainland is right there. It's like right there. And then you have Achill Island, which is very close as well. Achill Island is populated. And I was saying to myself, what, how is this dying? It's so close. Inishbiggle is a place where the past and present intertwine, where echoes of a vibrant culture struggle to survive against the tide of change. The story of Inishbiggle, a small inhabited island off the coast of Ballycroy in County Mayo, Ireland, is a poignant tale of a community grappling with isolation and neglect. Despite its picturesque beauty and rich history, the island has faced a relentless decline in population and services due to its challenging accessibility. But first, let me tell you a little bit about the captivating history. Like a lot of Ireland's islands, the place comes with a very interesting tale, as Inishbiggle was inhabited before the Great Famine, with records indicating a population of around 67 people living there in 1841. But the population was completely obliterated during the Great Famine. It recovered to approximately 130 by 1926 though. The island's religious landscape is particularly unique because the church that was built there originally was Protestant, but it would open its doors later in its future to Catholics to serve both communities, which is a very unique thing, especially in Ireland where this kind of divide exists. I think it was more recent times that this happened, but nonetheless, this is a beautiful story in of itself, and actually a tourist attraction because it's the only church that I know that has done this. The island's close proximity to the mainland and also to Achill Island, separated only by the treacherous Bullmount Channel, has been both a blessing and a curse. While the short distance could have facilitated easy access and development, the lack of a natural harbour and the dangerous currents have hindered progress. This is specifically between Achill and the island itself. So Achill Island is an island, but it's populated. This Bullmount Channel, this is where bad problems exist. Technically, you can actually drive across as well at certain times, but it's only for the very educated in the tides, because it's only an hour that you can have to drive across. A lot of the time, if there's a ferryman there and it's the same guy for many years who's getting old now, if the weather is bad, you can't go across. I understand all of this because the Blasket Sound, the Blasket Islands, is one of the most dangerous in the world. So these places can be exceptionally dangerous. They're only going by in curraghs right now. Then you have another, on the other side of the island, that actually connects to the mainland at Ballycroy. There's also a pier as well, which runs ferries too. The most prominent symbol of Inishbiggle's struggle has been the decades-long campaign for a cable car service. This seemingly simple solution, modelled after the successful cable car on Dursey Island, offered the promise of a safe and consistent link to the mainland. I think the government have a lot to answer for here. They basically denied this island an opportunity to survive. They said no to the survival of this island as a population, as a people, as a culture. I think we need answers. We need something different about this planning system. I just want to ask you a big favour, because you've made it this far. If you could just hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't done already, it would really help. It would help this video. It would help future content. It incentivizes me to continue creating this content for you. Also, if you're feeling very generous and you know somebody that will like this, make sure you share it to them. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the video. As a people, as a nation, as a culture, we need to look at this planning system and how the government of Ireland issues planning, how it blocks people from having dwellings such as Brendon, Begley down in West Kerry. This situation with this island, they're basing it on basically the beauty of the area will be disturbed and all this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I know many examples of people in Ireland that have issues with the planning authorities. It's a complete joke and it's absolutely appalling when we see all sorts of different activities going on and other scenarios where things are fast-tracked, where things are not put to the people. It's kind of a different story for some and different story for the rest. It just doesn't make any sense. It's very cloak and dagger. It's very bureaucratic. It's an appalling system that I'm sure many Irish people will agree with. And I think it's definitely time that we look at these situations and actually examine who is making these decisions. Should it not be put to the people? Should it not be put to the betterment of a culture, of a nation, of a people? This place is obviously of cultural importance. Every year a festival goes on and it's absolutely hopping at the moment. There was a massive amount of people there this year. So it's time that we look, as an Irish people, look at the way the planning authorities actually make decisions. And we need to actually look at this and try to make it a better system. How? I don't know. But it's just something that I feel strongly about. And this story highlights the views that I have on it. The most prominent symbol of Inishbiggle's struggle has been a decades-long campaign for a cable car service. This seemingly simple solution, modelled after the successful cable car on Dursey Island, offered the promise of a safe and consistent link to the mainland. However, the project became mired in bureaucratic hurdles and political controversies, leaving the islanders in a state of perpetual limbo. Inishbiggle's decline is a multifaceted issue, rooted in factors such as limited economic opportunities, inadequate infrastructure, and the lack of essential services. The island's remoteness, while contributing to its charm, has also hindered its development. Young people seeking better opportunities have migrated to the mainland and beyond, such as places as the UK, Scotland, etc., leaving behind an ageing population struggling to maintain the island's traditions and way of life. The Irish government has over the years overlooked Inishbiggle, failing to provide required essential resources and infrastructure that could have fostered its growth and sustainability. This governmental neglect has undoubtedly contributed to the island's depopulation and economic struggles, making it increasingly difficult for residents to maintain their way of life. As John Healy wrote in the mayonews.ie, the County View, the slow death of Inishbiggle, the cable car campaign encapsulated Ireland's fight for survival. 30 years ago, there was universal acceptance that Inishbiggle's location was choking the island to death, he stated. Despite initial support from public officials and the allocation of government funding, the refusal of planning permission by Mayo County Council in 1997 on the grounds that the cable car would be visually obtrusive and impact tourism was a major blow to the islanders' hopes. The news delivered by the then Minister Eamon O'Cuiv was a devastating blow to the community. As Healy described it, it was the day the island died. The failure to secure the cable car service accelerated the island's decline, with many residents choosing to leave in search of better opportunities elsewhere. While government initiatives have provided some improvements to infrastructure, such as new slipways and a helipad, these measures have failed to address the fundamental issue of accessibility. The island's population has dwindled down to a mere 12 people, and essential services like the school and post office have closed. Inishbiggle's story serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of neglecting remote communities. The island's struggle highlights the importance of investing in infrastructure and ensuring equitable access to services regardless of geographic location. Without such support, the future of Inishbiggle and other isolated communities like it remains uncertain. The decline of Inishbiggle is not only a loss for the island's inhabitants, but also a loss for Ireland as a whole. The island's unique culture, steeped in history and tradition, is an integral part to the country's heritage. The loss of Inishbiggle would be a loss of a piece of Ireland's identity. However, the narrative of Inishbiggle does not have to be one of inevitable decline. Solutions exist that, if implemented, could breathe new life into the island. Every year, the August festival, Féile Inishbiggle, symbolises the ray of sunshine in the story of the island, attracting large crowds when the weather permits. This shows interest and level of support for the community. Investing in sustainable tourism could attract visitors interested in experiencing the island's natural beauty and unique history. Developing infrastructure such as a safe harbour and reliable internet connectivity could make the island more accessible and attractive potential residents and businesses. Supporting local industries such as fishing and agriculture could provide much needed economic opportunities for the island's inhabitants. Educational cultural initiatives could help preserve the island's heritage and pass it on to future generations. Inishbiggle's plight is a microcosm of the challenges faced by many rural communities in Ireland and beyond. The revitalisation of Inishbiggle would not only benefit the island's inhabitants, but also serve as a model for other struggling communities. The future of Inishbiggle hangs in the balance. It is a race against time to preserve this unique island and its way of life. Yet with commitment, investment and a willingness to embrace change, Inishbiggle could be revitalised. The island could become a beacon of hope, demonstrating that even in the remote and seemingly forgotten communities, it can thrive in the 21st century. I think it is time to question the government on the cable car issue. It seems like a real conscious decision to let a community die when a real prospect was available to keep it alive.